All right. So it says I'm live. I'm going to have to get used to the delay. So that's going to be a thing I have to get used to. I also may have to fine tune if it looks a little old school Godzilla movie. Let me know. Hi Priscilla, I'm so glad you made it. Hi Cheryl. Give me a thumbs up. Hey Tessa, if you can hear me, you can see me, that's exciting. Can you hear me? Hi Ingrid. Yeah, the delay is going to take me a little while to get used to. Priscilla says, you can hear me? All right. So exciting. Thank you, Tessa. Oh, so, okay, it is synced up. Wow. Look at me being all technically savvy. How exciting. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Marjorie. How are you doing, Elizabeth? Very exciting. So this is very big news for me because as of last week when I was using Zoom, I was still having issues connecting to my scheduled live. Like it just wouldn't sync up for some reason. So I went out. Good morning, Susan. Well, I didn't go out. I shopped from the comfort of my couch and I went to this company called Sweetwater, and I'd shopped from Sweetwater a couple of times before. My oldest, Lauren, is a singer and was in bands and all this kind of stuff. So we had gotten some electronics and things for the band and singing from this company, Sweetwater, before. And I'd done some. The sync is off. Okay. All right, so I'm going to play around with it and we'll see how that goes. All right, so I did this. I touched the dial just a little bit like it told me to. We'll see. Because it's the delay. So this part I'm going to have a little bit of fiddling with because it's the delay from me speaking into the speaker over here that can hear me to it getting to the little gadget that I bought, this like switcher thing that's specifically for Apple products. Hi Melody. And then it streaming it live for the YouTube and then getting the sound in at the same time. It's a weird thing. And so it's still off. Is it off the same or is it worse or maybe a little bit better? Hi MJ. So the sound matching my lips is going to be something we're going to work on together. Once I start sewing, it's not going to be that big a deal, but it's worse. Okay, perfect. That's good. So that means I need to make it go a little bit in the other direction. Hi, Charlotte. Good morning. Welcome. Okay. So I don't know. I'm trying to over enunciate so that you can hear and see my mouth moving. I grew up watching old like Godzilla movies with my dad, and the hope is I can avoid that. So tell me if me nudging it in the opposite direction has made it possibly a little better. I really appreciate you guys helping out. This is good. And in a second here, we'll get started. And then I'll be sewing, and I'll show you different camera angles. Yeah, watching Godzilla and like Godzilla versus the Moth or all those movies. I can't remember. I loved watching them with my dad though. At the time, I don't think I thought it was all that fantastic, but well, weird dubbed craziness aside, mouth before words still. All right, let me see. Let's do this. Let's do. And then, all right, I'm gonna see if I can turn. I don't want sound coming from two different places. Okay, I changed it to the mic on the machine. I don't know that it's gonna hear me as well, but we'll check it out. And I'll just give this a couple more minutes, and if it's going to be Godzilla versus Shannon, it's going to be Godzilla versus Shannon for today. But we'll see how it goes, because then I want to show you some of the camera angles. So I think I'm going to... Oh, thanks, Susan. That was, so there's oh, you can't hear me at all now? Or with the delay, was it until I turned up the systems? Because I can see the microphone going up, but I don't know that it's getting to you. Matching better. Awesome. Okay, cool. So, Susan, the sawtooth behind me was, there's a program called 12 Minis in 12 Months. Thank you, Ingrid. Yay! Okay, then we're going to go with that microphone, and see, as long as you guys can hear me okay, the volume is way low. All right. Okay, so I've turned up the volume a bit. Sync is better, but volume is low. Yeah, this is gonna be crud. Hi, Nancy. So to try to finish up about the guy behind me, 12 minis in 12 months. It was last year, so 2022's January, first 12 month mini. And it was the first thing that I completed, quilted, and bound, and really felt pretty darn accomplished for, because my points were really good. I thought the quilting was very cool. I just did straight line like in the ditch, so it wasn't huge, but for me, I was excited. Hi, Tammy. All right, I appreciate y'all playing. I also got little lapel mics, but I didn't want to try out too many things all at the same time, because then I just figured everything would blow up. So next week I'll try the little lapel mic, and maybe that'll be better. We'll try that out next week. So yeah, so that's why it's displayed behind me, because it was the first thing that I was very excited about. I felt really accomplished. Hi, Tamla. Welcome. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the next fun thing. Hi, Stephanie. Good morning. All right, I appreciate you guys being so helpful and willing to like accommodate all the weirdness as I get things moving. I'm just excited that I actually was able to go live on the thing that I said I was going to go live on. So we'll iron it all out together. And I'm going to show you the next thing with this push of a button. We'll see how long the sync takes. And the sound's going in and out. Yeah, I love all the, on this side, right? The rainbow. So happy. And this is the shelf of shame of projects in works. So that's my second angle. Then we're gonna get snazzy and we're gonna do a picture in picture. Ooh, look at that. So I can be sewing and you can see me. We'll figure out the sound bit. Yes, I love the sewing machine view too. I'm very excited about that. No, I actually have all the mics turned off on the devices. It's just so like I have an iPhone and an iPad mini set up with this new board, which is set up specifically for Apple products. When I had the mic on the iPhone, which is the closest mic to me, the sound was off. The sync was off. How did the cat get down here? I just heard harmonica. So I have just the mic of the machine. And that seems to be kind of going in and out. So not dueling mics. All right. And then what I'm going to do is come back to me, just me, and I'm going to show off what I'm working on today. Hopefully you guys can hear. What I'm working on today is, check this out. All right, I'm going to wait for it to show up so I make sure that you guys can see that I'll be working on this project today. I feel like I need to lean back so I'm closer to the machine's mic. I'm working on what we started yesterday during the all-day retreat yesterday. So yesterday was a full day for me. We did a full day retreat from noon to 8 with Yvette, and we worked on this mat. And so I'm going to finish that up because I got the U and the S done. No, the U and the A done. Oh, it loses me when I turn my head. Well, that's frustrating because, okay, well, I'm going to lean back like this and talk to you guys. What's up? So I think once I start sewing, I'll switch it to the cameras, the iPhone's mic, because it may be off, the sync might be off, but you guys could hear me better. So I think I might do that when we switch to sewing. But this is what I'm going to be working on. I got, in the middle, got distracted by some fun family things. My son went out yesterday with his daddy-o and ended up buying a car. So between the virtual retreat, then I went to a class with my oldest, which was a lot of fun. Intro to block printing. Yes, intro to block printing, which was a lot of fun. Um, and then got to take a ride in my son's new car, which was really fun. And then came back and finished the live retreat. But I didn't. I only got the U and the A done of this USA mat. So that's what I'm going to finish today. So I'm going to turn that bit off. I'm going to go to this one. Then I'm going to turn off this mic and turn on the iPhone mic. Because if the words are different, it's not going to matter. All right, so I'm going to do that. All right. Oh, and there's an echo. Oh, I have echo cancel turned on too. Okay, so let me know. Ooh, Storm at Sea, Charlotte. Fun. Hi, Katie. Christine. Nancy, you're finishing up your mat today too? Yes, we'll get to work on that together. These are the fabrics that I'm using. Okay, all of a sudden I sound amazing. See, I sound really good out of the iPhone mic, but if you look really close, the words are not matching my mouth. Like I'm talking, and then the words sound. Like it's funny. It's really weird. I don't know why. But apparently everything I do makes it worse. So I'm gonna have to figure out that. I'll watch some YouTube. Hopefully they have some help a user out videos. But okay, let's look at the fabrics. Yes. Oh, also check this out. Look at this. I can do, well, I think I have to go back to, all right, I'm going to do this and then I can zoom out a bit, and then I can show the fabrics better. So these are the fabrics that I'm using. This really cool red grunge for the letters. This, it's kind of grungy, but it wasn't from a grunge pack. I'm not really sure. But I'm going to use this for the background for where the heart was, for the star. Using that. Then this is the white of the red, white, and blue for the heart again. This is the red for the heart and the blue for the star. So those are the fabrics I'm using. Now I'm going to go back out of Zoom. Nope, wrong direction. Ooh, that's too close. Sorry if I just made you guys seasick. All right, put all this stuff out of the way. And we'll get started. Gonna absolutely have to turn on my iron. Let's see. Okay, good. Volume is better. That's cool. Have to figure out the lip syncy thing. Put me back on 2, just so you know who you're talking to, or who's talking to you. Susan's working on multiple projects. My kind of gal. Baby quilt. Oh, you made up the pattern for. Awesome. Delectable Mountain. I like that. All right, so let's see. There we go. I got my U of USA and my A of USA. Now we're going to work on the S and the rest of the pieces. This is S. So I'll start working on this with these pieces. And then this is the heart part that will get to. Thank you, Nancy. These out of the way. Oh, fun, Tammy. The party's done yesterday. Well, you know, they still graduated. They still deserve the gift at some point. Oh, let's see. So that's the top of the S. This is the bottom of the S. All right. I'm starting with the easiest piece first, with the fewer small pieces. Did everybody have a good week? I know there were a lot of graduations around here up in Frederick where I'm at. It was wild seeing friends, kids who should still be babies as far as I'm concerned, graduating. All right, I'm putting my teaching hat on as I go too, as I'm doing all of this. The first piece is right side up. Make sure it covers the whole bit. I've just discovered that having my noggin down here in the bottom actually messes with being able to see what it is I'm doing. I'll just have to remember to hold it out here. So, right side up. Making sure it's covering. Right sides together. Oh, you have graduation today, Tamala. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. On Friday, I think it was 4 years since my son graduated high school. And of course, because it made me feel old, I had to share that feeling. And so I shared the picture of him graduating. And I said, oh, you're officially old now. Nobody needs to remind me that so am I. Ooh, almost forgot. All right. Yeah, that was Sherry that did that. Wasn't that cute? I like that. Make it into a little... Oh, you could have like a matching wall or door hangers. One on the front of your door, one on the back of your door with Stephanie's. If you guys can see, well, probably not because my hand is rolling, but I roll the feed dogs down whenever I'm putting my pieces in, so that it doesn't mess with the fabrics. Like the feed dogs don't catch and then crumple up the fabrics or twist them out of position. All right, where'd my... There we go. Hey, Shirley. Sure. Right? Wait, around to it. Where'd my book go? Gotta be correct. Gotta make sure I'm right on my names. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, I did it right. Welcome, welcome. Oops. I love that this year is a year of like reevaluating the fabrics that you love or didn't love before. Ingrid was not a fan of grunge before a couple of months ago, and don't come at me, I was not a fan of Tula Pink until a couple of months ago. Not everything Tula Pink. There were things about Tula Pink like some of the stuff she'd done. But now I'm like on board. Hi, Darlene. All right. So that's done. For this guy, some folks were using the add an eighth ruler, which, where is that bad boy? Where did I put it? I do like having everything like right around me. So yeah, some folks are using the add an eighth ruler, especially for the letters, because there are a lot of little pieces. I did not yesterday. I was just using my add a quarter. Totally up to you. Maybe today I'll go ahead and use my add an eighth and see how I feel about it. I'm not worried about it. The boy I was leaving. So the pattern, Tessa, was it was a part of registration, of registering for the retreat yesterday. I do not know if after an amount of time, if Yvette, the Yvette Renee on YouTube, if they will make it available in their shop. I don't know that answer, but it was a part of registering for and being a part of the virtual retreat. I do know that she is planning more virtual retreats, so that's fun. Oh, I just made my first paper pieced block from a book by Carol Doak? Doak? Is that how you pronounce it? Possibly. So yes, MJ, the thing about paper piecing is it is, aside from, choosing the fabrics that you're going to use, it is very structured. It's like baking versus cooking, where in baking, if you change the amount of liquid, or if you change the type of liquid, you can throw the whole chemical balance off of whatever it is you're baking. This is a lot like that. The comparison, it is very specific. You don't get to really riff when you're doing FPP. Some of the things you can change, like I don't know if there was. Oh, think like when you're doing courthouse steps or a log cabin where there's something in the center and then other little pieces around it. Sometimes you can decide, oh, well, I don't want my centerpiece to be that small, so I'm going to make my centerpiece a bigger square, a bigger rectangle, whatever, with there being like straight lines, or like not a curve. Definitely not a curve. It's a lot easier. Like I can't let me see. On this piece, because this is a little bit of a curve, I can't just decide if I want to keep true to the curve that I'm going to make 3 and 4 one piece. If I decide I don't want it to be curved, I want the letter to be really blocky, I could make 3 and 4 just one piece of white. That's about as out of the box you can go when you're doing FPP. Traditional piecing, you can definitely kind of go off the reservation a lot easier, and kind of make a lot of design choices. Hi, Norma. No, never late. Never late. You're here. Oh, you weren't able to do much of it at the retreat, yeah. But the fun thing is that the retreat was recorded, so if there were questions that you run into, maybe somebody at the retreat had asked it, you can go back and look. cake versus soup. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I'm more a soupy quilter. I went to culinary school, and I've struggled very much with baking because I love the idea of cooking where you're like, oh, we'll throw this in. We'll see if this tastes good. And you can like fiddle with stuff, and just, discover new taste combinations and all that kind of stuff. And baking drove me insane. It wasn't until I'd had a family, had kids, had matured a little bit, I guess. And then I discovered a really great appreciation for sometimes enjoying the structure, which is why I think I like FPP so much, because sometimes I need a little structure, and I'm looking to not because I riff too much in traditional pieced, or like when I'm making bags, I tend to make things more difficult than they need to because I'm trying to add a little challenge to it. So sometimes I just like to be reined in. Oh, 2 of the grads went to Disney. That's nice. Yeah, they're totally distracted. They're not even paying attention. Ooh. All right. I'm doing, no matter what, I'm always using this Acorn Pressing, the starch alternative pen, but going light because in that I always like to experiment with new things. I printed out this pattern on, instead of just like my regular printing paper like I usually do, I purchased newsprint. I don't know if you can tell in the picture, but newsprint, which is still holds its shape pretty well, but tears like a dream, like actually easier than I'm used to. I just have to get used to it. Good morning, Christine. I'm doing the quilt on a great blue heron panel. Ooh, pretty. Good morning the right way. I love the way. So on the newsprint is especially true if it gets wet, too wet, the ink will bleed a little bit. And I definitely don't want that going into the white fabrics of the USA piece. So I just have to be careful, have to be aware, and not get it too wet. Hi, Shelly. It is. It's all chemistry. Love the Acorn. Yep. I am absolutely an Acorn fan. Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches is who introduced me to that and is my supplier. Scrunches. Oh, nothing compares to homemade bread, 1000%. Also, making bread is 1000% better at relieving stress than actually strangling the person that's annoying you. I highly recommend it. Ooh, almost made a mistake there. I had it bent back and hadn't put the ruler up against it. I would have been sad clown. I know I'm going 1/8 of an inch this time, but what I did was I had it folded back. I was talking and trying to make jokes, and almost did the seam allowance. Well, I'm trying to show it. Almost didn't leave the seam allowance. That would have been very sad. This is the little sticker fell off. If Stephanie is still around, Stephanie is actually who I got it from, or Ingrid, if you have yours on and if it has the sticker, Yeah, bake no, all baking, no strangly. It is it's hung on by like this really tacky, sticky stuff, and it holds scissors, or I just have my snips and my finger press because I do a lot of chain piecing, and so I'll just finger press like that piece and then put the next one on before I iron everything out, because I'm trying to find ways to make me a little bit of a faster sewist. I'm on the slow side, and so I look for ways to help me be a little faster, just, like streamlining activities. And if I just do the finger pressing in between, I can get, the piecing, chain piecing done. Unless I always do the iron and the acorn if I'm joining pieces to that piece, because I want to make sure I have the open seam and all that stuff. But if I'm just adding to the next, end of that piece, I'll just finger press and then iron and, bonjour, hi Nadine. I know that there's a better way to say Nadine. I feel like I butcher that every time. I hear Steven say it really pretty. But welcome. Annie's scissor holster. Oh, I like that. Holster. That's cool. Ooh. All right, let me add the next piece. Also, when you're doing, so I'm adding this third piece, which I don't know if you can really see how teeny piece 3 is. There we go. Piece 3 and 4, they are small. They are small little pieces. For the love of all that's holy, the piece you put on to cover that piece does not have to be that small. Don't hurt yourself. That would be so hard to handle. Look at the monstrous piece that I'm planning on using to cover that, and then I just cut away the rest of it. I mean, I have this wee little piece here. I could use this wee little piece. There are times that I will, if I'm getting down to the end and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to cut any more into the main fabric. Like, like I have a half yard or I've got a fat quarter of it, and I'm trying to be economical and I don't want to cut any more into it. I'd like to save it for like binding or for other blocks or whatever. I'm known to use these little pieces. Absolutely. But I don't need to do that. Why hurt myself? Just make sure that the piece covers all the area you need of it, and don't hurt yourself trying to hold on to that wee tiny little piece. Make it easier for you. Oh, Shelly makes the bread in the bread machine. That's cool. I remember I got a bread machine when I got married way back when. And then the bread machine, much like the husband, are no longer in my life. I'm full of jokes today. I am also, my hand's in the way so you can't really see. I don't know if you'd really be able to see anyway. I might one of these days zoom into it. From Juicy Juice, Mr. Giuseppe, I learned from him that if you want those really crisp, like, joins of all the pieces, to start outside of where your sew line is, and so like start outside and end outside of that sew line, and then just tear the paper back when you're trimming and adding the next piece, and you will have really crisp, super clean joins. Because I was finding, and I was getting very frustrated, that if when I was trying to be really, really precise and start right at the the start of the line and end right at the start of the line, I was finding that sometimes where I started one and had stopped the other, there was enough of a gap that I could see that when I was done and I ironed it, and it was frustrating me so much. So when he said that, it was like him giving me permission to break the rules, and I feel like he's a darn genius. So if he said it's okay, and I'm doing it. So that's what I've been doing since then, and I am not at all stressed any longer. And I've been very happy with the crispness of those areas. So, blue herons. Yep. Yeah, always use a bigger piece. Then it's just not worth the mental stress and strain, and it's only fabric and it's only thread, like the Quilting Marine says. A Nutra Mill mixer for bread. Cool. Hi, Linda. What else she has in the... it is a finger presser. Making sure in the camera that you can see that. For, like pressing out, in between chain piecing is when I use it. To flatten my seams in between sewing one thing to another. I actually got this from Cotton and Bourbon. Her name is Audrey. I'd taken a class with her. Actually, Ingrid and I took a class with her. She does, right? Yeah, Cotton and Bourbon does these radial things. Amazing. Another one of my works in progress. But she makes these. She has a lathe and stuff, and so she makes some fun stuff. And I got this from her, and it fits perfectly up here. I was finding that the scissors, I kept trying to convince myself that could fit up here, were too heavy, and it was making it fall off the machine. But having this right here is very helpful. I like it very much. All right. So where's my pen? There we go. Oh, thanks, Ingrid. Yeah, she did, it was the first time I'd ever taken a class with Audrey with Cotton and Bourbon, and the way she did it was so smart, where she had a PowerPoint presentation ready to play of her doing everything step by step. But she was live with us in the class. It wasn't a pre-recorded class, but she had pre-recorded her doing each step of what we were making. So she was able to stop the recording at any time, go back, answer questions, and be there live with us to go over all the stuff, and had it like bookmarked, like where she needed to be, or either that or she had it memorized because she'd done it so much. But it was really smart. It was really, really smart. I really liked that she did it that way. And we were, able to just learn visually, but have her there to talk us through things, ask for specifics. So then she would cut away from the video and show us live, some of the things. It was just very nice. It was very well done. She's a really good, teacher, presenter. If you have an opportunity to take a class with her, I know that she goes to some of the quilt shows, jump on board with that. Hey, CS4, how are you doing, Donna? Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to sound like a salesperson for a couple of minutes. Look, this is how serious I am about it. I'm going off. And I know the sound might be off. If you guys have the opportunity and the ability and the time this year in September to go to Stephanie Stitch's Together We Sew retreat in Pennsylvania, there's a spot left. Come hang out with us. Okay. I will stop talking on my soapbox. There's one spot left, and the women I met from there. So I'm a person that believes, I don't know if everybody else believes this too, but I believe that no one person, no one human being can fill every one of your buckets of need. Like, I don't know, the different things that you need. Like a strong shoulder to cry on, but doesn't question you and doesn't need the details, just lets you cry it out. The person who's going to push you and drive you, and that's not the person you want to go to when you just want to cry. And that's the solutioner, and you don't want to talk to the solutioner when you just want to cry and bitch and just blah. But so yes, I'm a big believer that not one person can fill every bucket that you need. But when I went to Walnut Port last year and was put at this table with these 4 other women, well, Ingrid I already knew. We rode up together. We had met through a swap from Yvette Renee, actually, which is pretty cool. So I knew that she was my kind of peoples. But we got placed in this table with these 3 other women. And it was like I had met the other pieces of bucket fillers for me, and that's in that time. And CS number 4 is Donna, and she is one of those people. And they're all coming down from up north, because we're in Maryland, so they're coming from up north, and they're coming down this coming up week to hang out. Even though we're going to be back in Walnut Port in Pennsylvania, and again at the end of September, yeah, to do Walnut Port all over again. But yeah, there's a spot left for Pennsylvania, so if you've got nothing going on, you should definitely look it up and come hang out with us, because you could meet some of your bucket fillers when you go to a Stephanie Stitch's retreat, for sure. Yeah, those women, listen, not to take anything away from Millersburg. Those women are amazing. I will always have such a strong connection with them, because that was the first ever quilting retreat I'd ever gone to. I was so nervous my first time that I didn't speak at all. Oh, Donna, you can only do... I'm so sorry, Nightbot. Okay, so that's a technical thing I need to get on. I need to go back into Nightbot and make it stop getting freaked out when people use emojis. I'm sorry, Donna. It gets weird. You can only use, like, an emoji at a time. So, yeah, Millersburg is always going to hold the biggest piece of my heart. I love the people there so much. It is so much fun. But... yeah, Donna getting a warning for something? Never. But Pennsylvania just hit different. I don't know. It was just the perfect storm of women there when I needed them, and we all found each other, and it was just an amazing time. I am so happy, and I'm so excited that they're coming down, and we get to spend time with each other. And we will get 0 quilting done. We'll get shopping done, but we'll probably get 0 quilting done. And we'll just talk and laugh and be complete morons together. And I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, okay. On with the sew, because otherwise I will start crying like a baby, and then everybody will know that I'm actually a softie, and I won't have that. Yeah, retreats are so amazing. Oh, 20th anniversary. Wow, Shelly, that's awesome. That is awesome. All right, Nancy, thank you so much for coming. Oh yeah, that little piece 3 is so tiny. I would have just been fighting and fussing with a little piece of fabric. I'm glad I just went with a big piece, and I'll just trim it up. That's funny. They would complain that there was only the ingredients. I like that. They don't want to actually make the thing. They want the thing to be already made. All right. Let me snip that little piece off. And number 4 is another teeny piece, but I'm not going teeny. I'm going with this big old piece, adding it, making sure I cover all of the things. For this piece, I do have to make sure that I cover the seam allowance. So I'm making sure that I have that extra coverage down here to cover the seam allowance, but I'm not trying to go tiny, even though the final piece will be tiny. You do not have to start with a tiny piece. I sound like a broken record, I know. Sometimes I have to remind myself of that, though, because I will try to get frugal and will drive myself insane. Because additionally, I am a tiny stitch length sewer. And it is much easier to make a mistake with a really, really tiny piece of fabric and find out that it's not going to lay correctly. And then it's already really, really tiny, and I have really tiny stitch length. To then have to rip that out would be frustrating, to say the least. Hi, Laura. How are you doing? Can I move the... Okay. All right. So I'm going to try something, and we're going to see. We're going to see what I can do. So main is 1, 2. Make it smaller. Make it up here. Okay. Oh, buggers. I'm working on it. Technology on the fly. All right. No, let me rearrange. All right, give it a second, and it might, let me know if this is better. And let me see what I've missed of the chitty chat. School lunchbox sandwiches. For the Wonder Bread. That's funny, I like that. Oh, good. Okay, yay. Woohoo! All right, perfect. Yay! Sorry, I should have tested that out before hitting live. I didn't realize how in the middle that little picture would be. But I appreciate you guys helping me out with that. Oh, I'm a goofball. I am a goofball. I sewed the wrong line. Like, why is that not lining up right? Because I sewed the wrong line. That'll do it. There we go. Let's do this again. Sew the right line this time. Too funny. All right, sewed the right piece this time. Exciting. I hear a cat coming down the steps. Hi. Ooh. So it looks like we're gonna get some rain, and YouTube is just saying that the bit rate, I have no idea what that actually means, is being weird. Oh, there's about to be a cat that's gonna jump up here, so I'm gonna move some things in anticipation of said cat coming to cause issues. Hello, sir. Are you coming up? I'm just gonna say first, if I go out because of the storm, I'm very sorry. Hi, Harmonica. You're gonna have to lay down, my bud. All right. Come on. Yeah, lay down. Yeah, lay down here and don't rub up against cameras like you are prone to do. Hello, sir. No, not here. No, sir. You can't rub up against cameras. Oh, what'd you do? Hi, my love. Hello, my friend. I don't know how I'm supposed to work with you right here. You are very handsome, but you are very in my way. We'll see if I annoy you enough if you'll end up getting out of the way. You crazy boy. Yes. This is generally where he lays when I'm not live. So he feels this is his spot and he is owed his dues to be loved on. We managed to get 2 dogs and 4 cats upstairs. But Harmonica is a mama's boy. And did not want to stay. So this is gonna be interesting. I am not, though, when I think somebody mentioned it, was it last week that someone mentioned it? Well, I'm starting a conversation in the middle of a conversation. If anybody is participating in the Modern Quilt Studio mystery quilt, someone had mentioned it, I think last week. I'm pretty sure. And I am not, though I did go and watch a couple of the videos of them announcing it and how excited they were about the response to fabrics and such, which is very cool. But I am working on legit kits. I'm working on Tula Pink's Queen of Diamonds. I'm working on 2-color quilt challenge. That if you haven't seen anything about the 2-color quilt challenge, and Ingrid, if you have a chance to maybe put the link from Stephanie's channel for Tuesday nights live, I think she has up. That'd be awesome. If not, don't worry about it. You can either see on Stephanie's stitches or on my videos from the past about the 2-color quilt challenge. It's not too late. We're only going into to month 2, and we're drawing the cards this Tuesday night. I can't do another thing. You mentioned it on Stephanie's live. Okay, cool. But I can't add another thing, but I'm totally going to add the Art East, studios, the guys from Canada. They have the puffin quilt. They were recently on The Guy Who Sews, John and Matt from Art East. They're announcing Tuesday night their new sew along. And I'm really sad that I didn't do the Wizard of Oz sew along, because Wizard of Oz was one of the plays I was in when I was in elementary school, and this was when elementary school was all the way to 6th grade, and I played the Scarecrow, and it was my favorite. And I didn't do that one, so I'm probably going to end up doing this one too. Oh, good, Jean. Hi first. Hi, Jean. And then I'm glad that this is, I'm excited about this view. This hand keeps getting in the way, so I'm going to have to try to be more cognizant of maybe putting my left hand on this side. I'm hoping that maybe I can find like a cheap iPhone, because it has to connect to the Wi-Fi. I want to try to do an overhead with this guy so I can get closer this way, and then I can turn the camera that is doing the view of the machine right now. I can turn that to where I'm cutting and ironing. But that, that's a pipe dream right now. That's a future state. I'm not ready for that yet. Oh, awesome, Ingrid. Thank you. Yeah, the 2-color quilt challenge. That's fun. I don't have the 2-color quilts out right now. I will have them out for Tuesday, though, for our if you are participating in the 2-color quilt challenge with Stephanie and I, and you haven't as of yet, and you want to share your progress, for sure, post those either in Together We Sew, or send either Stephanie or myself an email, or both, like CC us would be cool. And we'll show them off Tuesday night, which I'm really excited about. My daughter was a scarecrow in her... Oh, in The Wiz! Oh, that's so cool. I love The Wiz. I love... I haven't seen it, like, done in a, at, like, a high school musical or anything. But I saw, you know, the like, with Michael Jackson as the scarecrow. Oh, I loved it! He's on down the road. Oh, my gosh, yes. Love it so much. Oh Lord, I just sang live. That's really horrifying. I apologize to everybody. Harmonica, you cannot do that right on the camera, my friend. No, you cannot. You're moving everything. All right. Oh, he really is moving everything. Good golly. And that's with stabilization on. It's grooming time, apparently. He's cleaning his legs. All right, so let's see. Where am I? This way? No. This way? Yes, this way. Oh, I still need to change up the camera a little bit to be able to get... Okay, everybody close your eyes. There's going to be a little bit of movement because I'm just trying to get a better angle where everybody can see... Well, everybody can see harmonica, apparently, and what I'm up to a little bit better. I think I need to move the camera a little bit further back. Let me see if I do this. If I zoom out a smidge. And then add me back in there. That's good. That has some space, enough for me to show off what I'm up to. And harmonica, because he needs his camera time. Okay, let's see. Quilt, daughter and the thing. Ooh, the Broadway version on tour. Don't nobody bring me no bad news. Oh, yep, awesome, Ingrid. Thank you for that. All right, sir. Yes, you are so handsome. Oh my gosh! No, it's not time to play. You just scared me, douche. You just scared me so much. Oh my word. It's not playtime, my friend. You're gonna get your paw cut with a rotary cutter, though. Did you see me jump a mile? I was not expecting that. You are gonna get your paw cut. All right. All right. Let me see. Can you see? Yeah. So that piece definitely covers up this last piece. Sir, you already want to start fights? They do get you when you least expect it. He's really normally not a like a play in the day-er. He will want to play when it's like time to go to bed at night and like I'm getting ready and pulling back the sheets and stuff, and that's when he wants to play. He finds that a lot of fun. His brother, Bass Drop, wants to play all the time. And we'll do that. We'll like grab my hand. So I expect it from Bass Drop. Obviously was not expecting it with him. Oh, I don't know. Is Donna doing a 2-color quilt? I don't know. I know Stephanie and I started, so June will be month 2. So we did our first 2 blocks in May. It's the first Tuesday. Select the 6 blocks that we're going to vote on. Then everybody has a week to vote on those 6 blocks, and we're going to put them in 2 groups. Like the 3 blocks that are a little spicier, a little bit more difficult, though that Sparkling Star is the most difficult one out of the bunch. But the ones that are more complicated, have like a little more pieces, smaller pieces maybe, things that are going to stretch us a little bit more. Those 3 will battle it out in one voting block, and then the ones that are a little easier, ones that are like more traditional, more standard, everybody kind of knows, those 3 will go up against each other in the second voting block. So everybody will have 2 votes, one for the spicy ones and one for the more mild ones. That's one. They'll be buffalo wing levels of the Richter scale. And then you have a week to vote on those, and then Stephanie, who is an amazing pattern writer, she'll write the patterns for each of those blocks, because the block boxes, the way they have them are like very traditional. There's no like 8 at a time half square triangles, no waist flying geese. There's none of that action happening in how they explain how to do it. So Stephanie kind of like works it up in a more modern way of putting the pieces together. And then those patterns are free on her blog the Wednesday after voting closes. So voting closes the following Tuesday. So a week of voting. The following Tuesday or the following Monday? I guess Monday night at 10 p.m. would be actually a week. But so you have a week to vote, and then the blocks go up on her blog. So Monday night at 10, yes, because the blocks go up on her blog Tuesday with the free patterns, download PDFs. And then we then sew them live. On even months, it's on Stephanie's channel, and on odd months, it's on my channel. So this month, for June, we will sew them together live on Stephanie's channel, where Stephanie and I may have, mostly me, because I'm a slow sewist and she's a super bomb fast one. I will probably have pieces already done so that I have a greater chance of finishing both blocks in the time that we're sewing together. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern, the 3rd Tuesday of every month. So I'm sorry. Donna's one of the channels that I have, I'm subscribed to and is in my, watch list and everything. But I try really hard to watch as much as I can. And I'm, especially now that I'm doing, like the weekly podcast and the lives, and like collaborating with everybody, I'm finding it really hard to get back to watch everybody's live. Like I was having a hard time, or watch everybody's videos. I was having a hard time before just being an avid watcher to make sure that I caught everybody's everything. It's even worse now. I'm kind of bummed I don't get to see what everybody's up to. So that was a lot of yammering about, I have no idea who she's working with, if she's doing one. It's fun though. It's a fun challenge. We didn't limit what people, how people working with us, we didn't limit the interpretation of what a 2-color quilt meant to them. So both Stephanie and I are using 2 fabrics only for our quilt tops. I'm using a porcelain background color and a emerald green, jade green batik for my main fabric, and those are the only 2 fabrics I'm using for my quilt top. Some folks are going scrappier, like in the blue family. It doesn't matter, and so they might have 1 block, all the same blue fabric and all the same background fabric, and then so that's 1 block, and then the second block, their blue is like a completely different kind of blue, like a teal blue or whatever. So we're not limiting anybody to how they want to express what a 2-color quilt is to them, which I think has been a lot of fun seeing what everybody's doing, because I love how, like we were talking about how FPP can be stifling, sounds like that's just so mean. It can be a little more limiting, but the 2-color quilt, we're like, go for it, be wild, go and do what you want to do, and I love seeing everybody's creativity in that. Hi, Beverly. Oh, really, harmonica? Yeah, he's I didn't realize how popular gray tabbies were until Harmonica's mama showed up on our door, and as a pregnant rescue, and we have her babies with us now. I'm gonna have to figure out some workarounds. All right, so that piece. So if you can see, I have the seam allowance well covered for these pieces, and I got to add this J6 to the end down here. So that's where I'm at in adding. Hey, bub, are you on my card? No, I just put it over here. Ooh, a Color Family Batik bundle. I like that, MJ. Well, the super cool thing about the whole, like, quilty stuff, like Stephanie and I are doing the 2-color quilt challenge, and we're doing it, the way that made sense to us. And we're showing how to make these blocks the way that makes sense to us. But just because that's the way that makes sense to us doesn't mean it's the way that makes sense to everybody else. So if somebody is doing something similar, and maybe Donna is doing that, and maybe she has a block that you like better, that you like because that month you've just got stuff going on. And the 2 blocks that Stephanie and I have chosen are just, they are going to put you over the edge. And you see a different block that somebody is doing and something, it doesn't even have to be a 2-colored quilt challenge. It could be anything. Follow along, see if it makes more sense to you, and then throw that bad boy in yours. No quilt police are allowed in my world. I won't accept it. All right, I need another pretty good sizable piece of the white background fabric, but I think I'm gonna have to snip a piece off. So let me roll all this back. So I was saying that I wasn't necessarily a huge Tula Pink fabric fan, but I do like me some rainbow tools, so I have her scissors. I mean, I'm not crazy. I also have the little snips too. Love them. These bad boys are sharp. They're pointy. They get into it. Right. So there's the extra little bit of white. I'm gonna make sure. So when I've folded the paper back to show the seam allowance that I'm going to be sewing against, and when I line up my fabric, I just make sure that the fabric lines up to cover all of the seam allowances that I need to cover on this side, because if it covers it when it's flipped like this, when I sew it and flip that fabric right ways up, it'll cover it on that way too. A blue family and whites. Oh, blue and whites, very pretty. I like the contrast. I really enjoy 2-color quilts. I love full color explosion wildness, like the Legit Kits block of the month, the color vortex. Love it. Love the insanity of all that color. It makes me happy. But there's just something so classic and classy about a 2-color quilt. Solid, just like minimalist. I don't know. I like it. I'm very excited about finishing mine up. Ours are going to be 12 and a half unfinished blocks in a layout that is totally up to you. So there's a lot of freedom in what we're doing, but that's also, it's kind of the pick your own adventure in those reading books. So there's a lot of freedom, and if that freedom frightens you, I still challenge you to still participate if you haven't already. We're not that far ahead, and there's always a month in between each of the 2 blocks that we're doing. So plenty of time to play along. But a challenge like this would be a fun, like, I don't know, low, like there's no like pressure project to like try out some different ways to lay out blocks that you might want to do. Do you want to do sashing? Who knows? Check it out. See if you like it. Do you want to add cornerstones to those sashings? Who knows? Try it out. Hi, Brenda. Welcome. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so excited to have you join us. Brenda was in the virtual sew-along yesterday with Ingrid, and I think Nancy headed out, but Nancy and Shirley, and Brenda was there with us. So welcome, Brenda. Happy to see you. Yeah, I'm hoping to finish this up today. I don't know that I'll be able to do it on the live because I do a lot of talking, but I want to finish it today. Oh, thank you so much, Nadine. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful dinner. Oh, and bye, Susan. Thank you so much for spending your morning with me. And the rest of us, everybody here. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you talking to everybody. It is still just, I don't think I'll ever lose the amazement and the joy of how wild it is that I can sew with you guys. I can share some stuff with you all. We can hang out and share, silly stories about our kids swapping our hard handmade like our hard worked on handmade bread for Wonder Bread. We could share those kinds of stories, and just spend time together. And that, you know, I'm the facilitator of that because I'm here going live. I don't think it's ever going to get old or like not just, as my mama would say, just, I don't think it's ever not going to tickle me that it's happening. All right, so I've definitely got a lot of fabric that I'll be able to use on the next block or the next block piece. But I'm gonna have to wake up Mr. Man here and make him move because I do need some room to trim, and I would just be absolutely freaked out if I accidentally did something to him with a rotary cutter while I'm doing that. Hi, I love your chirps. I need you to get up though, Billy. Yeah. Hi, baby. Oh, God, Bob, you need a brushing. You got hair everywhere. All right, how do I convince you to move without you knowing it's me making you move? Yeah, you gotta get up. I don't want him to think I'm shunning him. I'm such an animal I'm so sorry. I'm such an animal person. But I do need you to move, bud. Come on. Come on. No, I know. You think I want to play, but I don't want to play. I want you to get up. Come on, handsome boy. Ooh. You see him fighting? Oh, there you go. Yay! Perfection. He's annoyed with me, as I can tell by the flick of his tail. But he is no longer in harm's way. I think that last nip, though, was him expressing his dislike of me at the moment. That was not a play nip there at the end. That was a woman, you just woke me up from sleep. What are you doing? Okay, so like I was saying, in my bid to be frugal, I will hold on to this piece. So if at like closer to the end, I'm like, oh, I don't want to cut into the bigger piece of fabric, I may use that. But I may not. It may end up in the bin, as they say. Oh, I was noticing last night, and I'm going to say this, and I do not mean this as any commentary on how other people write their FPP patterns. But when I was putting together these letters last night, the U has a couple of, no, the U, oh, I thought this did. Okay, anyway, the A, when I was putting the A together, the A has pieces that you had to sew together and then sew all of them together to make the A. And I was like, I'm really, really spoiled. Until this year, when I started doing legit kits, every FPP pattern well, so no, some of them don't even give you any real clear instructions on how to sew the pieces together, and it's insane, and they drive me crazy, and I don't use those people's patterns anymore. But Yvette is really good at her patterns. Pride and Joy, they're really good. String and Story, really good. Oh, what is her name? Liza Taylor, really good. But where I've gotten really spoiled, and now last night as I was putting this together, I realized I've forgotten how. Legit Kits has these white lines at the ends of their pattern pieces that help you line up weird angles. And they help you line them up really nicely and easily. And I now have realized that they're such a crutch for me that I was like, oh my gosh, I don't remember how to line them up if they don't have those magic lines. I'm like, oh, I'm losing the touch. So this took me a little while. It's still not perfect. It's perfect enough. Listen, I'm not undoing it, but I was like, wow, I've really developed a dependency on Legit Kit's magic white lines. So this is good. This is good to go back and like have to stretch myself again to remember how to line pieces up that don't have those magic white lines. Does give me an appreciation for Legit Kit's magic white lines though. That was funny last night. I talked to Ingrid after the retreat, and after I got off the phone with her, I was on the struggle bus. I was a little bit perturbed. Hi, Del Marie. Oh, Ingrid, watch out for the tail, right? We'll have to rename him Stubby or something. How do I want to do this? I want to do it this way. Good piece there to use for the next block. I don't know, like for folks that are FPPers and are maybe new to FPPing or maybe thinking about being an FPPer. Oh, I need to move this over this way. What I do and what people recommend to do, and maybe you've heard it, maybe you haven't, is I always line up my 1/4 inch with the sew line to make sure that when I'm sewing the pieces together, the sew lines match. They'll be a 1/4 inch, regardless of what might be happening to the fabric or to the paper on the outside of that. They will match because of me always measuring from that sew line. So just a reminder as you're doing it. It will help keep things lined up. All right, so there we go. That's the inside piece of the S, just starting the down curve. Nope, just starting the up curve. You know, whichever. So now these are where we're getting into spicy pieces, because we're going to have a lot of little areas that need to be covered so that we get this really clear curve. So there are a lot of little areas to cover, but again, you don't have to use little pieces of fabric to cover those areas. So you could, I mean, if you wanted to, I don't recommend it because it will drive you insane. You could use a whole fat 1/4 or a whole layer cake piece, a 10 by 10 square to cover it. I would rather go a 10 by 10 square or a 5-inch charm pack square than try to manipulate a less than a 1/4 inch piece of fabric into getting these really great curves, which is why it's done. But you don't have to use the really teeny tiny pieces. Oh, yeah, you went straight to bed. I bet. Ingrid had 3 nephews hanging out with her all day yesterday. And look, I was a very sporty young lady. I like to play sports. I like to be outside. I like to climb trees. I like to get in fights. I would scuffle as a youngin'. I was a little lunatic. I was definitely a tomboy. But I couldn't, I don't, I did not compare to the boys I was hanging out with in amount of energy that they were expending at all points of time. Their boys have always been, in my experience, the ones I've known, the ones I'm raising, have always been very much like puppies. They're either going 1,000 miles a minute or they're asleep. There's no in between. And sometimes, even when they're sleeping, they're still, things are still happening. They're still chasing things in their dreams. So, yeah, that's my take on boys. The nature versus nurture. There's just something in the nature of young men. All right. So we're going to start this H piece. Make sure it's in the camera. And so the H one is the white background with the red stars and blue dots. Goes right here in H1. So that's what I'm gonna do. Gonna get a good size piece to make sure I have that completely covered. So I'm gonna start with this big hankering piece as my inside. And as always, everybody say it with me, the first piece is always right side up on the side that you're placing the fabric, because the side that you're placing the fabric is in the end, the pretty side, the what's the word I'm looking for? The presentation side, the end user side. It's the user interface. So piece one always starts face up. But when you're looking at it to sew, it's the only piece that's wrong side up on the spots that have the lines to sew. And I repeat it because when I started, I had to repeat it to myself over and over again to make sure that I remembered it. So I repeat it for you guys too, because I want to make sure that you're not on the struggle bus the same way I was when I was first starting out, before I had found Yvette. Yeah, it's for some reason, it's the first thing you learn, and it's the first thing that leaves your brain when you come back to it after a while. You have to really think about. It's not like riding a bike. I don't care what they say. Riding a bike is not like riding a bike, like they say. All right, so piece two is over here, so I am going to scooch the fabric down some, down to the, closer to the side of where two is going to go. And then this piece will absolutely cover. I'm just making sure it's over the seam allowance too. Yep, we are good there. Oh, you always glue the piece down. Yep, that's a good way to do it. To remember. I don't. Yeah, it's my cat. It's Harmonica. He's decided to come and join. Oh, buggers. I don't think I put the feed dogs down low enough, so I'm going to have to be a little bit more gentle with this. There we go. I got it lined up now, I think. Yes, Mr. Harmonica, the camera hog. All right, there we go. Holy cow, is that the time? Yo, time is flying. having such a good time hanging out with you all. Put it all away. Oh, like someone who is actually organized. That's funny. Don't you feel so accomplished? I'm always like, oh, that was so adult. Have my own adult children very quickly reaching the half a century mark, and I'm still like, oh, my mom and dad would be so proud that I did that. There we go. All right, I'm gonna put my. I am a clapper user. I enjoy clapper. I got this one from. Oh, let me turn it around. This one's from So Yeah. I have one from So Yeah. I have square ones from So Yeah. I have ones from a friend of mine's husband, Hard Rock Woodworks. Love his clappers. I am a clapper user. I know it is a controversial thing. So some people absolutely hate them and think they serve no purpose, which is totally fine. I think the combination of clapper and easy press pen is like the angels singing from on high for me. I enjoy it very much. Think of the blank side of the paper as the front and the printed side as the back. One thing that helped me after the first piece shenanigans, fabric on the back of the pattern and then sew on the front. And YouTube University is an awesome thing because you just can find, I will always say this, as much as I enjoy having everybody here and I want everybody to come back and watch me and you know, check out what I'm doing because maybe the way I'm doing it makes sense to your noggin, but watch as many people as possible. You know, what I'm doing today works for me right now, but I still watch as many people as possible because maybe tonight when I'm watching it, I'll learn something new and then it'll be a new thing that I get to incorporate into my repertoire. And then I can, you know, share, ooh, look at this new thing I learned. There are just no, aside from my love of quilting, there's just no constants. You know, we're going to keep evolving and learning and adding new tricks to our tool belt. And some things that I might do for this might not work for that. And so I might have to, you know, dig back into that tool belt and do it a little differently. I love it. I love that kind of creative freedom. You thought they were silly until you succumbed and bought one. Oh yeah, the pen and the clapper together. Yay, I'm glad you like that too. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, and if you guys are looking for, you know, interviews to watch, Fallon from So Be It Quilts was on The Guy Who Sews yesterday morning. They were a lot of fun together. It was very cool. Fallon's got some amazing stuff going on. Her and her husband are a dynamic duo, and they've got these really cool, Ingrid's talking about the clappers that look like wooden irons. They're gorgeous. This guy right here that's hanging up here, I don't know if I'll be able to get it off the hook without standing up, but this is their I won't be able to. It's not going to come off the hook. But this is the slide lock. They're the 24-inch slide lock. I have big plans for this because I have a 6-inch strip tube thing that I'm going to be working on. And that's going to help me cut my 2-inch pieces to make a pieced 6-inch tube piece. That bugger, I've used it a couple times now. It holds the fabric. I don't have to use like a weight at the end of a ruler. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't have to use a weight at the end of the ruler. No slipping and sliding. This guy is good. It's good stuff. Oh, speaking of, I just had a pop-up that So Be It has a new video out. So check out Fallon and her hubby, Matt. They are adorable. All right. So that's 2. No, 3 is also a red. And again, I'm not trying to break my brain. I'm just going to use a big old piece, even though I know 3 is a small piece in the end. Golly, I can't believe it's almost time to go. I think I'm going to get this piece on, and then I'll talk a little bit about what's coming up this week. And then say goodbye so everybody can watch some other folks or go spend some time with family, finish up this project that I want to finish today so I can check it off my list. You'll have to come back and check me out on Wednesday or Thursday morning, 8 a.m. is when I post my Wednesday podcast. And you'll have to check it out this week to make sure I kept my promise and finished this week, because I'm on myself to get my Legit Kit Sail Away completed. The flimsy, at least the top, get it completed, so that I can move on and start getting it quilted. It is my number 1 priority. But all right, iron that down. But yeah, start wrapping things up. It's almost 12:50. We got big goings this week in my quilty world. Tuesday night is the 2-color quilt first Tuesday of the month meeting, where we will, on Stephanie Stitch's channel, because it's an even month, we will look at what 6 blocks will be voted on, and then we'll look at pictures of the blocks from the first month that you all had sent us. We'll take a look at those and show them off. And then this Tuesday is a quick one. It's just hey, these are the 6 blocks that you're going to vote on, and yay, look at everybody's work. And we get to be proud of ourselves and share our accomplishments. And then Wednesday again, I'll record the blog so in the blogs, it's what I did, what I'm doing, what insanity I'm getting myself involved in, and anything I watched over the past week, or, maybe went out and did, or whatever. You were really excited about Fallon's shop. That's it, posted twice because you were super excited about sharing it, which is not a bad thing. All right. So, yeah. So, okay, I'm going to stop there. I don't want you guys to be driven insane with the out of sync audio, and I really hope I can find why the audio is out of sync through watching some YouTube videos. And I don't want to drive you guys crazy with that, with making the front camera the main camera, and then you guys you'll really have to see it. But it feels weird being so far away. Let's see. We'll just... I'm bummed that this is going to be weird. But the sound is just better from the camera. So Tuesday's live with Stephanie on Stephanie Stitches is 6 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Will probably be maybe 30 minutes. It'll be a quick one. Nothing huge. Wednesday is a pre-record of my podcast that goes live on Thursday morning. It goes live, but it's pre-recorded, so it goes viewable, is how I'll say it. You'll be able to view it Thursday morning at 8 a.m. And then, of course, I'll be back next Sunday from 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern still. I'm not changing time zones in the middle of my live, for another Sunday brunch. But yeah, so, the live for the 2-color quilt Tuesday night, Stephanie Stitches channel, because it's an even month. Next month, an odd month, will be on my channel, but still 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. And that wraps it up. We're going to make sure that I hold to my goal of getting the USA mat completed today, or at least by Wednesday night when I record. But I work a 9 to 5, so it's not always the easiest to complete things, especially if I'm the one having to run meetings, which I've been the one having to run meetings a lot lately. So that that eats into the being able to just put my headset on and listen to the meeting and sew away. Oh well. But I thank you all so very much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate all you guys all chatting with each other. I love the conversations you guys are having together and the stories that you're sharing. I think I might have said that before, but it does. It warms my heart. If you have any questions, thank you, MJ. If you have any questions or anything like that, I'll put my email address in the description below. Shoot me an email. We have the Carnival Cotton Cuts is coming up. We're going to be sewing the Village Green on Stephanie's channel on the 17th of June. So that's coming up too. We got big stuff. But thank you, everybody. We'll see you all so soon. Have a fantastic week until we see each other again next Sunday. And I am going to now see if I can end a stream as easily as they say. Oh my gosh, Cheryl, have so much fun in Halifax. Give Stephanie and Steven and Walter big hugs. All right.